Deconstruction isn't a thing. I'm sorry, but I've got help. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. And look, when you try to describe what's gone on in my own spiritual life for the past 20 years, or even really maybe my whole life, people would describe it as deconstruction, but that's not a thing. And it's not a thing because deconstruction characterizes the sort of undoing of a belief system as a discrete thing, as a moment or a season that you go through where you deconstruct and let go of all kinds of harmful beliefs. And then maybe, and you hear this term a lot, you reconstruct your beliefs. You go through reconstruction and then you're done. You've got it all fixed. And then you get disappointed because it's not all fixed. It's never all fixed because deconstruction isn't a thing. And I get it. A lot of times it begins in a discrete moment. Something happens and you start realizing that you've got a bunch of beliefs that you've never actually thought through and that you don't actually believe anymore. And you start looking and you get more and more. And the more you look, the more you don't believe. And the more it feels like your whole religious, spiritual belief world is falling apart. I get that. And because it begins in a discrete moment, it feels like it's going to end in a discrete moment. But that is a misunderstanding because the problem is not that there's some sort of set of religious beliefs that you never figured out, and once you figured them out, it's all good. The problem is that you never developed the ability to form beliefs, and that's the real problem. And the good news and the bad news is that's the basic problem, and you just have to do that. But the bad news is that's the way you do it for the rest of your life. Because you're gonna have a belief that you thought that was really good, and then when you start living out that belief, you realize it makes you a horrible person, and that's not a good belief to have, because we need to choose beliefs that actually make us the best version of ourselves and help us find a purpose greater than ourselves. And then you're gonna find a belief that seemed 100% right until you discover this new piece of data that the Bible is pro-choice, or that the Bible doesn't condemn homosexual people, and all of a sudden that belief is turned upside down, and you have to say, actually, this was based on just erroneous knowledge, and I have to change that. I've got to incorporate this new data. And how do you do it? I've got a whole lot of helpful ways that you can do that on this TikTok channel, but to be honest, I think that the best way to do it is with a community of people. And that's actually why the Skeptic Pastor community has a Discord that we call Not Church. And it's fantastic. It's full of people that are doing this hard work together, but they come from all different stripes, all different traditions, even traditions that wouldn't really be considered particularly Christian, but everybody is trying to figure out what they believe about God and find practices that work for them. And that's really where the good stuff happens. And I'm there, I give long explanations to people's questions, and we have a good time. We hold space for each other. We're there for each other. We call it Not Church because it's like everything you wish you had in a church without people telling you you're going to hell for not believing the right thing. If you want to be part of that, it's real simple. You can go to my Patreon, which is patreon.com/skepticpastor. Links in the bio. And it's $3 a month. We charge for it because we're not going to ask you to give a donation for forever. You pay for what you get. If it doesn't work for you, you stop paying. But the bad news and the good news is deconstruction isn't a thing. It's the rest of your life. And that's really good news.